So today, I have my second ever WWE matchup between Drew McIntyre and Samoa Joe. Who wins? Well, let's find out. So, Drew McIntyre is a Scottish professional wrestler currently signed with WWE in his second run. He left WWE after his first run to better everything about himself. After spending a few years in TNA and other promotions, he returned to WWE physically much bigger and scarier looking than ever before. He stands 6'5" and weighs 265 pounds. He's strong enough to overpower Roman Reigns and even match strength with guys like Braun Strowman. He's tough enough to go deep into matches with guys like Andrade, Seth Rollins, Dolph Ziggler, and Roman Reigns, withstanding their best moves. Even when fighting more skilled opponents like Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler, his physicality allows him to overpower them. His fighting style consists of power, brutality, brawling, technical wrestling, and even though he doesn't show it much, he's proven to be well versed in submissions as well. He also has 18 years of in-ring experience. His finisher is the Claymore Kick. His biggest accomplishments consist of being a one-time TNA World Champion, one-time NXT Champion, one-time WWE Intercontinental Champion, and a two-time WWE Tag Team Champion. He's now known as the Scottish Psychopath in WWE. And in the other corner, Samoa Joe. He is an American and Samoan professional wrestler currently under contract with WWE and has worked for other promotions like Ring of Honor and TNA. He's 6'2" and weighs 282 pounds, but despite his large size, he's very fast and agile. He's strong enough to overpower AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, and match someone like Roman Reigns. He's tough enough to kick out of the Styles Clash and the coup de grace. His fighting style consists of power, brutality, striking, kickboxing, judo, jiu-jitsu, and he's an expert in using submissions. He's also not afraid to fly in between the ropes, and he has nearly 2 decades of in-ring experience. He's a master tactician, being able to accurately predict his opponent's next move. He's a one-time Ring of Honor champion, holding the record for the longest title holding at 645 days. He's a former TNA champion, 5-time TNA X Division champion, former 2-time NXT champion, first ever, and 2-time WWE United States champion. These are just some of his greatest accomplishments. His finishing maneuver is called the Coquina Clutch, and he's been known as the Samoan Submission Machine and the Destroyer as well. So, I really like this match because they're both ruthless competitors, and I hope we get to see it one day in WWE. So, who's physically superior? Well, Drew has a decent height advantage, while Joe has a decent weight advantage. Actually, Joe has a lower center of gravity, making him seem and feel heavier than what he actually is. They're both very strong, but I'd say Drew has the slight advantage because while Joe is able to match Roman Reigns, Drew has actually overpowered Reigns and match strength with Braun Strowman. So I'd say Drew is slightly stronger. But while Drew is slightly stronger, I'd say Joe takes the slight durability / resiliency and speed advantage. So physically, they're both really close. So who's more skilled in the ring? Who's the better wrestler? Well, they both have near 2 decades of in-ring experience, and both are very brutal. But without question, Joe is more skilled in the ring. He's won medals in judo, jiu-jitsu, and kickboxing. He's an efficient striker, an expert in using submissions, isn't afraid to fly through the ropes, and he's a master tactician. Drew has proven to be a skilled technical wrestler and at least decent in using submissions, but Joe is just on another level here. Drew also seems to prefer brawling so he can make full use of his brutality and power, which isn't smart to use against someone like Samoa Joe. But McIntyre has beaten more technical, skilled wrestlers than himself, so he's not out of the fight, at least not yet. It's important to note that these two have briefly met up in the ring twice in the WWE before, at 2018 Survivor Series and the 2019 Royal Rumble match. And in both occasions, McIntyre actually put Joe down relatively quickly with a Claymore kick. But at Survivor Series, Drew caught Joe by surprise, and at the Royal Rumble, Joe had already been in the match for at least 10 to 15 minutes before the encounter, so he was already winded. Actually, in both encounters, Joe had the advantage at first. So who wins? Well, I believe whoever is more skilled and resilient is winning this match. And Joe has both of those advantages. At the end of the day, I believe Samoa Joe beats Drew McIntyre. Like and subscribe, all the great stuff. See y'all in the next one. Peace.